Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Just For Friends Trying to Figure Out HR podcast. I'm your host, the Big Llama. No, I'm just kidding. So I just want to be transparent in how we're starting today's podcast. First and foremost, when we did our pilot episode, I'll call it our pilot episode, we were kind of testing the waters and we were trying to see, how the rhythm of the show was going to be, what level of appropriateness were we going to, because we wanted this to be an after hours podcast for us to just let loose and kind of have a little fun with it, right? I mean, HR is a very serious thing, and we do get to serious topics. If you've listened to the podcast, at some point we give you some touching, great information. But we had a little bit of too much fun on episode one and or pilot episode. And when the families listened to the episode, they were stuck on some pretty key things. So we buried that episode, just so everyone knows. It's available for sale to the highest bidder, and that will help pay for the podcast. But no, so we decided that we had a really good time with it, and we wanted to revisit it, but we did something a little bit different. We had found names and things, coworker names before, and tonight we decided to give our friend Chad GPT a ring, and just kind of have that sort of produce some names and see if we've heard these names before, and who and if it's something that we've experienced before. So join us now as we sort of go through this journey of nicknames for our coworkers, and hopefully you guys have heard of these. And if you have any extras that you want to tell us, then let us know when you watch the podcast. All right, who wants to start? I love that we just explained all that, but who wants to kick us off with a nickname for a coworker, and we'll just go around.
Maybe done. I'll go do this one. This one's just funny. It's good to me because we all have one person that, no matter what the situation is, it could be a freaking sunshiny day and money could be raining from the sky.
Wow.
And this person would complain. Captain Complainer. They file a grievance for everything but actual work. So I know I've met a couple of people like that. Like they're fully draining type of people. And they just need so much from you.
Have you guys ever watched that show, What We Do in the Shadows?
No, but what do you do in the shadows?
It's about vampires. It's on Fox or FX or something. But there's you have your typical vampires, right? Blood sucking,
Edward,
undead. Yep. Hey, not Edward. He was nice. Then you have your energy sucking vampires. That's those people right there. Captain Complainer is a soul sucking, energy draining person that needs to just get on out of my face. I don't want your negativity. Go complain. It's a nice day. Look at the glass half full. What is wrong with you? That's what that made me think of.
It's a negative Becky.
It's a negative Nelly. Negative
Nancy.
Negative Nancy.
There it is.
They definitely ain't a realistic Rachel, but they are a negative Nancy.
I have to say, and I know he doesn't listen to. Well, I don't want to incriminate, but I know someone in my family that is just like this. Like, there's nothing that happens at work that is not a complaint. Like, again, what happened? Joe said hi to me. Like, how is that a complaint? But that's how the conversation goes. And then the rest of the time, it's this happened and that happened and that. And I'm like, does anything good ever happen to you at work? Like, I don't understand. But I'm not going to incriminate who that is in case they're listening. It's my family member. I get enough heat for this podcast. I don't need that.
I'll ask later.
Yeah. When we end the recording, I'll tell you who it is.
How do you carry conversations on with people like that? Because I wear my emotions on my face, right? I'm not very good at hiding them. I don't have a good poker face. And when somebody is like just draining me, I'm like, no, get to it, or like I don't care to listen to you complain. I'm a big fan of you have to romanticize your life, and I get to go to work. I get to drive to work. I get to talk to my colleagues today. I try to spin the most positive way that I can to just the most mundane things, but like I can't hold a conversation with someone like that. I feel drained. I feel robbed of my time. Like I'm done with you, energy draining vampire. Get on out.
If it's me and the person one on one, I can handle it, right? I can sort of mask it. If I'm in a group of two or more, two or more people, I look like I'm in pain. I'm writhing in pain in the corner. I literally want this conversation to end. I hold my temple like an old man, and I just sit there and I look like I'm in pain. So I have to stop doing that, but it literally pains me to listen to this nonsense of complaints. Like, oh, Becky.
Becky's gonna get a lot of shit tonight.
She is getting a lot of shit.
She's a lot of these coworkers. We love you, Becky, wherever you are, girl.
I don't like you.
So, realistically, though, for the HR professionals that are listening,
Mm-hmm.
the one thing I would say is make sure you know how to respond to the best of your ability to that person, whether it's one-on-ones or group settings. Because I know I come across those or have come across those a lot, and especially in large meetings where like we'll be talking about a topic and all of a sudden it turns into a complaint from one person. It's like, this is not the audience. So then I'll just chime in. Thanks, Becky. So about those graphs, and it just like redirect it right back on topic. And there's been a few times where I've actually had to interject and be like, okay, Becky, look, I definitely want to hear more about that, but let's take it offline. Right now we're talking about the graphs. Yeah, you have to play that violin. But then when it's one-on-one, depending on the person is my response, because I have actually had a conversation with someone and they were one of those complainers. Always everything's negative, everything's bad. You know, they're gonna die tomorrow. They're a hypochondriac. They're always dead. They're always sick. Everyone always hates them. I looked at this person one day, and it was just me and them. I just looked at her, and I was like, "I gotta ask you a question." And of course, she wants the juice because she's so dramatic. And I was like, "How many people come to you and ask for advice on any given day?" And she just looked at me. She goes, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Either daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. How many people ask you for advice?" She goes, "Well, I talk to people." I'm like, "Yeah, but how many people look at you and go, 'Girl, I need your advice'?"
Nobody.
I'm like, "I'm
Now
going
one.
to yeah." But that's how I opened up that dialogue with her. Like, "Look, I'm going to give you some love here. You need to calm it down with the drama because nobody wants to be friends with the one who cries wolf every single day."
Did you
Like,
give positive intent behind your message?
there was positive intent, but I said it with much love, which was the point. Because she needed that nugget in order for her to develop and grow and have that psychological safety.
As long as you move the needle, buddy, that's all that matters.
Yeah, but I think it did well for her because she really didn't complain to me a lot, and I'm hoping that it went beyond that and she took that advice to heart and did it with others, because some of us, we get so comfortable so fast with peers and even supervisors that we kind of vent to them the way we vent to our friends, to our spouses. And what they don't realize is you're building a reputation for yourself as the complainer, as the person that always has a problem, as a person that's never happy. And it ruins your reputation. And sometimes you do it with the wrong person, that they're a key factor in your success of your career. So
Good point.
caution.
Yeah.
Becky, calm down. Be cautious.
Exactly. Let me take the next one because I just thought of a quick story with it. So the next person that the next character in The Office, right? Captain Side Hustle, doing 3 other jobs during the 9 to 5.
They always trying to sell you that damn chocolate bar at the office because their son or daughter is always selling a chocolate bar for something.
Exactly. They always got a money-making scheme. They got some Tupperware they want to sell you. They're always posting they're posting some shit in the break room. I mean, but the funniest thing that I had to do, this guy was selling discount designer shoes. I mean, he had a duffel bag, like a big in Dr. Green, or both of you, Jake and Dr. Green, big giant army duffel, the green one, the big green duffel bag, the big nasty one, full of designer shoes. Again, knockoffs, designer shoes, sandals, you name it, right? He would go around the entire office and sell these shoes, making tons of money, but he was never logged in to his adherence because he was a phone rep. And so the coaching I had to give was like, hey, could you just log in and take calls? Like, that's your job. Like, you're literally like, they're like, where's Becky's cousin? And they're like, well, he's delivering shoes next door. He's delivering shoes to the 3rd floor. But it became so popular, even the supervisors were buying shoes from this guy. So they were like condoning it. But there's a bunch of Captain Side Hustles in every building. Like, in every building has one Captain Side Hustle. Because again, just look in your break room, you'll see Captain Side Hustle. There's signs or whatever. And so I missed the guy because I liked his shoes. But and he also sold bootleg DVDs and Blu-rays.
Oh, wow.
I did
Who
buy
watches
some.
Blu-ray? Well, who watches DVDs?
Hey,
Back
back in the day.
Hello, look behind Big Llama.
Oh, that's right. Didn't you say you had Blue's Clues back there?
I do have Blue's Clues. I have Blue's Clues, The Wiggles. I have
That was
the whole thing.
Hey.
direct shade.
The
That
Wiggles was
direct
legit, man.
shade. The Wiggles was legit.
Toot,
You know
toot,
what?
chugga, chugga, big red car. That's the jam.
Fruit salad, yummy, yummy, buddy.
Fruit
Oh,
salad, mashed banana.
Oh, good songs.
Let's reel it back in though, right?
Yeah, I want everyone that's listening to remember the next time you go to HR and you want to sell something or promote something and they tell you that there's a policy there, it's because of Becky's cousin.
Yes.
We should name them. We should give every character a name.
Okay,
Becky's cousin is Ricky. His name is Ricky.
Ricky.
Becky and Ricky.
We don't want to
Becky and
stick with the B's, Becky and Brian.
Okay, Becky and Brian.
Brian's doesn't sound like what was the Captain Side Hustle?
Okay, Benny, Becky and Benny.
Becky and Bart.
Or Brad.
Not the Simpsons.
Benny.
I vote for Benny.
Bartholomew.
I go for Benny because that just sounds like someone that's hustling.
Yeah.
You know, my cousin Benny, he's a.
There you go.
He's got
Benny
these-
sounds like
they're knockoffs, but they
Benny's
look
always
just
looked like the mafia kid.
We
And
should name every character.
And you know what? I want to bring a sad point that attaches to this because anyone that's been in HR has had situations where family members or even employees have, lost their lives. And there's been times where people have come up and they want to fundraise or do things at the workplace. And unfortunately, because of policies, we have to say no. And it's not because we're not empathetic, we don't care, but unfortunately, Benny ruined it for the entire barrel of apples. So now there's a policy that exists that completely limits all fundraising, all solicitation, all advertisements because of that problem. And if you make an exception for even the things that there should be exceptions for, then you open up Pandora's box to potential liability issues and all that. So just know that while there's funny stories around the hustlers and the gamblers and all the side hustles that get pulled on at work, it is sad because they do kind of ruin it for the ones who truly do need that side hustle to help out legitimate situations. So don't hate us. We don't make the rules. We just enforce them. But it doesn't mean we're not on your side. We just can't be there from a policy perspective.
Yeah. But you know who's got a stranglehold on the office? It's the Girl Scout Mafia.
Oh,
Ooh.
yes.
God.
I
See,
mean,
they do it in
Remnants,
the
baby.
parking lot. They do it in the
Yeah.
parking lot.
they cash app. They're delivered in the parking lots. You got cases upon cases.
And they
Like,
sell it like it's drugs. I'm not
I'm
joking.
telling you.
I've had places I've worked where we were not supposed to be selling it. It was against policy to even have food on the floor. And they're like carrying around in their coats, like, girl, look, here. Yeah, just cash at me when you get a chance. I'm like, you walk around here like you're still a mess.
You got some of
I'm
those
like,
thin
look.
mints, man.
I'm like, look, Bethany, stop it.
Where's my Samoas, dog? Where's my Samoas?
I'm like, you over here,
But-
you ain't even, they're not even selling the whole box and selling it by the bag now. Like the whole little bag.
They do like prepackaged bags at home. Bags of stew.
I'm not going to mention a show that's on TV right now where she's repackaging food that already has the name on it, but puts the name on the new packaging. We're not going to talk about that.
Pulls them
I'm
over, sees they have a little
invested.
baggie, and it says Samoas on it. And it's like a little dime bag of Samoas, and it's like,
But-
Samoas, man.
They get the exception. That's what I'm saying. The Girl Scout Mafia is real because when cookie time, okay, so all side hustles have been knocked down. Again, Benny is no longer selling shoes or DVDs, but guess what? When it's Girl Scout cookie time, that break room is covered in signs and sales for cookies. I mean, it's so bad that outside of work, my in-laws get them by the case. They buy a whole case of cookies, and
It's
they have
not
it
that
for the season.
serious.
It
Yeah.
is always that serious with thin mints and tagalongs.
That's when
Okay.
Benny be calling Benita and she gets involved. I'm not joking. My mom has like 5 boxes of Girl Scout cookies sitting on her kitchen counter right now. It is hilarious.
Hi, Jake's mom.
And again, I don't know when cookie season is, but like I said, when it's time, they are ruthless. They don't care. Rules be damned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's reel it back in. Mel, do you have one?
Yes. You know, we talk often about that one coworker that just has all the tea, just all the gossip.
Yes.
The bloodhound.
Jake.
They'll sniff out office gossip from a mile away. I admire this person to be them when I grow up. I'm just nosy and I want to know the tea. Like, I love tea when it's not my tea. Also, when it's not bringing me extra work, but like, I can appreciate a good little office rumor here and there where you're just like, if that's true, that's fucking crazy.
Okay, so let me just combat Dr. Green's snarky comments over here. Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
I'm going to hate the saying because that was from 2000.
All the Bloodhound is doing is just making sure that his 3 other friends out of the 4 friends has the relevant information that they need to make an educated assessment of the situation. And I tell people all the time, HR does not gossip. We simply discuss things that could be pertinent to a future investigation.
You just think it's gossip. We're just hunting down some answers, and we're like, stupid.
I think one too many true crime podcasts has been listened to. That's why these people know so much. But the stress level, this is why I could never be the bloodhound. The stress level of knowing things, of having that back pocket, and then because I'm a terrible, if you haven't noticed, I'm a terrible liar. My wife's like, "Did you eat those cookies?" No, I did not. So yeah, my voice changes, my face changes. So like if I knew something and they were like, it's brought up in the meeting, like my face turns red, or I have tells. There's gonna be a tell. They're like, hey, so who heard about Becky and John over in the bathroom? Not me, guys. And then I slowly do the Homer into the bushes.
The Homer backing up.
Yeah.
Big Lon would be the first one to tell himself, I didn't hear anything about them making out in the bathroom. Wait,
Nobody said anything about making out in the
I know
bathroom.
what they were doing.
Exactly. I will spill the tea. I don't
Llama's
drink it.
like the perfect witness in an investigation. Like, what can you tell me about, this? I didn't hear about Becky and John making out in the restroom.
Oh, and this is
Perfect
actually
witness.
true situations too, though. Make sure you let them know it's true situations. Maybe different names, but there are people that do things very inappropriately in the bathroom. And
Yes.
HR
Of
gets
course.
involved.
Of course.
Didn't we talk about one during the last episode? Your what did we call it, Lana?
Oh, the diabolical
restroom guy?
shitter.
Yeah, that was diabolical shitter. Different one.
Mhm.
But still,
At least, still get involved because it's something to do with the bathroom. But I know of a individual. HR can't be everywhere. We just can't. But at the same time, there are cameras for a reason. So I think the word is innuendo comes whenever you see a man and a woman walking behind each other out of the restroom.
yeah, I mean,
And so your investigation starts. Did anybody hear anything? I heard Becky and what's the other guy's name? Johnny?
Johnny.
John.
Yeah.
Becky
Johnny
and
boy.
John. I just heard somebody was getting really happy in there.
Happy?
Do you know who it was? Well, no. Okay. All right. Camera footage, Becky. What were you doing? So 2 and 2 together, but I know somebody who has told me that story, and I just was like, it's crazy.
And it's kind of hard for John to like defend himself when he's coming out of the female's restroom.
Wait, hold on.
Well, we
Don't
don't
be
know if he
sexist. Why wouldn't
identifies
she come out of the male's restroom?
as a female.
Because we know what John identifies as.
Jeez.
So if you identify as a male and you're coming out of the female's restroom, we got problems.
That's true. That's very true.
What? You've never walked into the wrong bathroom?
Not for 22 minutes.
I guess Mel went to the restroom. Continue.
She's having some Wi-Fi issues.
Yeah,
She's
no.
her office
So-
nickname is the Wi-Fi Bandit.
Oh, the Wi-Fi bandit.
She steals the Wi-Fi.
Hey,
bandit.
it's happened to all of us.
The unpaid Wi-Fi bandit.
Quit stealing your
I pay my
neighbor's Wi-Fi.
bills. My bills are paid.
Quit
You guys
Remember we
ever
had to
watched,
say-
Wi-Fi.
Your family's there. Remember we said last time your internet started going crazy because your family was there.
We're here. Have you guys ever watched 1,000-Pound Sisters?
I love them. I love it.
My bills
No.
are paid.
You don't know what I'm going through, okay?
You can do
I pay my
stuff.
bills.
My bills are paid.
That's my favorite scene. I think I'm pregnant. What
Why?
makes you think you're
Jesus.
pregnant? I have cravings. Okay, you're craving things you never craved before. Like what? Water, and then cut to the sister. Bitch, you ain't pregnant. You thirsty.
Never seen that show.
Oh, that. Yes. Okay, it just clicked because I was like, I remember hearing this somewhere. And it's the sisters. And like
Okay.
one calls out the other. That was yes. You can
Llama, you have
Llama,
to get on your other
you have to.
pod. You have to. You just
Yes.
watch it. You
have
gotta watch it.
to.
That 1,000-Pound Sisters was called.
1,000-Pound Sisters, good old Tammy and Amy.
Sounds like a good time. So
It's a reality trash, but it is so entertaining.
Just like
This is
Love
like
is
the
Blind.
stuff that we have to watch to unwind.
Yeah. 1,000-Pound
Yep.
Sisters.
And you know what? They are a good segue to the next topic for a nickname, which is the Snack Attacker.
Oh,
Oh,
my
Jesus.
God.
They
Hey,
always
I feel
show up when there's
attacked.
food. No, they always show the Snack Attacker. They attack and they show up when there's food present. You bring
Ah,
the food.
You bring
oh
that's
god.
true. I usually bring the food.
Also known as break room bandits.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
There's like they just went back from lunch 22 minutes ago, and all of a sudden there's a potluck in the break room, and bam, there they are again. I'm like, did you just get off lunch? Oh, I'm taking an early
That's the
15.
that's the lunchroom lurker.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a bunch of names for this one.
Hanging out by the microwave every time.
But
Well,
what's
it's
funny
like,
is some of them are people you don't even see ever unless there's food. Right? You're
yeah.
like, you work here?
And
Yeah.
you know what the rhetorical funny part about it is? Almost all of them I've ever seen are skinny.
Right?
They're all skinny. It's like you're hunting for food. You're constantly at the buffet. You're always eating. Like you're walking insults.
Mm. And I've used so many of them.
If you had to pinpoint the lunchroom lurker on one department,
Mm,
fight me, but
Management.
it's the IT guys.
I'd have to fight you. I
Wow.
think it depends
I
on
would.
the geographical location.
It's the IT
Management.
guys. They never come out of their office unless there's some type of sweet or snack attached to this meeting.
Or pizza.
For me, it was a combination between the janitorial staff
Mhm.
and that middle manager that like has a little authority but has no authority. They're high enough up to give out directions, but not really high enough up to actually make the directions. For some reason, they tend to disappear and show up where the food is and they just abandon their team every time.
They come back with
They're-
food, eating, and their team's going, I'm hungry. Oh, this was the last one.
Ooh, get
and
on
they
board.
stay
Or
for the entire event. They stay for the whole thing. Like, what are you doing today? Like, you there for 2 hours, dude. How do I know? I was monitoring the event. Okay. I was helping clean up.
Oh,
That's also actually that's another ploy is the cleanup guy. Like that's another one of the lurkers.
Mm,
The person who's
Mr.
always,
Clean.
yeah, the one who always comes in to clean up after events. They usually eat everything at the end. Like then you only see them at the end. They're all there for the food. It's food.
we appreciate those, though. We
Yes.
appreciate those guys.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
almost like they're almost like that coworker, the Bloody Mary. Mention their
Okay.
name and they'll come running.
Oh,
You say something, Bobby?
They just kind of lurk around the corner. Hey, you're like,
no.
I was just talking about this guy.
We didn't talk about sex on the beach or a metropolitan, whatever we didn't say that name there, Big Llama.
Mm. You didn't say Baby Bell.
Oh, Baby Bell, I'm there in a second. Potluck with Baby Bell, I'm there.
He brings his own Baby Bell.
You guys suck. You guys suck.
So, what
You know
about
Jake, you know what you are?
what am I? What's my nickname?
You're the cinnamon.
The
You
cinnamon.
always spice things up.
That's true.
Wow.
There you
That's
That was a
true.
fail.
He does spice things up.
Oh, he's spicy, especially when you get him mad and talk about his favorite topics. He just
First of all, I prefer the word passionate. I'm very
I was
passionate.
gonna say very passionate. Yeah.
Very passionate. Okay. I am not what HR would use, and this term is mainly used in HR as we call them a WHR. What is it? A WHRN, a walking HR nightmare.
Oh, I'm like, where are we going with that?
yeah, me too. I was trying to figure that out.
Well, because you can't believe there goes that WHRN right there, walking HR nightmare.
Oh.
Oh. We all know a couple
That's
of
usually
those.
Becky with her choice of clothing. She's a walking
Yes.
HR nightmare. Oh,
Yes.
Becky
go home.
is the walking nightmare for HR.
exactly. And if your name is Becky, we love you.
Yeah, we love you. We appreciate you.
We
I have a
really do.
story. I have a story attached for that because in one of my previous companies, I had someone that consistently came to me. They kind of fell in that they always complained about everything category, but they would always come to HR and just complain about how they were being targeted. But it wasn't really a complaint because she never really specifically said what until one day where she came and she was like, I want to file a complaint. She goes, I think I'm being targeted. And so I took her complaint and it was on dress code, right? So then, you know, of course I was fairly new kind of at this point. So I had to dig into it. And then after I did my due diligence, I came back, I pulled Becky back into the office and I sat her down and I said, girl, look, I'm going to be real with you. They are targeting you because you have been sent home 17 times for dress code violations. I said, you know what? Shame on them. I had a conversation with them today, and the next time you violate dress code, they're just going to write you up. So you don't worry about them targeting you no more. Because they are not going to pull you in the office to have any more private conversations unless it's a write-up. I assure you of that.
You flipped the script on Becky.
No, I was legit. I was
Yeah.
serious. They were targeting her. But then, like, I had to have a come to Jesus meeting with leadership. Like, is there a reason why we haven't written her up? Maybe after the 7th time we sent her home, not 17th. Like,
Right.
I get that they have to clock out to go home and change, but I'm like, how many times are you going to send her home? Because at this point, you are kind of targeting her, and it is kind of a little. I mean, you have a justified reason, but how many times are you going to do it and not hold her accountable where it still becomes justified? So, yes, Becky at that time was a walking HR nightmare, literally, in the shoes she had on that day.
So can I, again, I don't want anyone to feel attacked.
I'm already attacked.
Okay. No, there you go.
Every time he says that, I'm like,
yeah.
That's like
say it.
That's like
Lean
saying,
in.
Mama Mel, I need to tell you something, but no offense.
No, I hate that.
Oh, that makes me mad.
This isn't meant to offend anybody. Go ahead,
No
offend
offense.
everybody in the room.
You already offended me.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
This isn't directed at anyone. Yeah, go ahead.
Having said that, no. So again, I don't want to attack anyone here if you are this person, but the tab hoarder that keeps 49 Chrome tabs open and can't figure out why they can't log in, or the desktop hoarder when you have 5,100 attachments, like shortcuts, Word documents, spreadsheets, presentations, and it's like the entirety of your desktop. I want to punch your computer screen and show you what a folder is. But
shortcuts? Who puts it on their computer? Like I never use shortcut on my.
When they
look,
Mama Mel. I'm done.
Sorry. See, I knew one of us was that. I did not know it was you, Mama Mel.
No. Mama Mel might have some issues here and there, but she ain't that person.
Thanks.
Okay, no.
Wait, no offense.
I've had people share their screen and have so many tabs open that the tab literally was not even thick enough to like be the width of a penny. And sometimes I just call them out. I'm like, look, you don't have to pretend like you stay busy. I just need help on this one thing.
All the same tab repeated over and over and over and over.
Like just look, just go open up. Don't even go to Chrome. Just open up a whole nother browser. Go to Safari. Go to any other thing, because at this point you have so many browsers open that I think you're trying to convince yourself that you're working hard. And it's
I don't think they know they have it open. Like that's the tab hoarder doesn't know that they've opened another tab.
Right.
I guess we'll see, because there are people that don't know that they smell. So we'll go with that.
But the desktop one, okay, so the tab hoarder. So tab hoarder is again. I may be judging, and my apologies. I'm not trying to be judgmental.
I'm judging with you. I'm right next to you. Go ahead.
They may not be as computer savvy as they should be for whatever reasons, right? That's what happens when you open up 1,000 tabs. It's not that you're busy. You don't realize you've opened a tab, and then you can't find the application. You're like, I've tried 16 times. I keep clicking it, nothing's opening. Yeah, because you have 17 of those tabs going to the same location. But the desktop hoarder is really my biggest problem because not only are you completely killing your computer, you're like a security risk nightmare. Like you are saving valuable personal information on your desktop that has no protection at all and not on our servers. So it's like you looking for trouble. Like you if your laptop gets confiscated or stolen, if I can log in, I've got all your information. So that's what drives me crazy. But the other thing too is like I know it's around here somewhere. They're looking around their desktop and they can't find it. Like I can't find it.
And you know what bothers me is when they try to blame it on ADHD. I'm like, no, you're the pot trying to call the kettle black, and I'm the kettle. Don't blame ADHD on that.
So we have to give Mama Mel an opportunity to speak on behalf of the desktop hoarders because she is making faces right now.
Mansplain to us.
Yes.
No, Melsplain to us.
Melsplain to us.
Melsplain. Oh yay.
Listen, I don't know where this trauma comes from. I like to call myself, along with all of the other desktop hoarders, we're like the Library of Alexandria. We just keep a copy of everything because you just never know. You just never know where you're going to use it. Now, I have the OneDrive little fancy SharePoint stuff. I know how to use it. Sure, I'll save stuff on there. But like, I'm old school, and I'm going to save it to my desktop because I don't ever think that stuff is going to get lost. But like a couple years back, maybe like 10 years ago, our computers, a lot of our computers at work got wiped. Like just completely wiped. I don't remember if we got like hacked or something. I can't remember. We lost everything. And I said to myself, we're not going to do that again. We're just going to keep what's important. And then we just kept everything. And it's fine. I know where everything is. I won't lose I know where the music is coming from. I know where everything is. Also, I'm always very afraid that if I share my screen, they'll see like my Spotify up. So I make sure to just like move things around. So the screen that I'm sharing is like what like you're actually meant to see and not me listening to like grills, on Spotify as I'm trying to work through a emotional intelligence training. So I'm good with that, but I do keep everything. And you know what? I've got no shame in my game. And everybody out there that's a desktop hoarder, you do you, boo. Let these men not shame you.
You bugaboo.
Okay, you're right. It's just one of the names that came up here, and I know it intimately.
Yeah, no, yeah. Tell us how you really feel, Llama.
Well, I've seen your tabs and your desktop, and I have seen people that are 10 times worse. So it's okay.
Thank you.
So to answer your question, though, you said you didn't know where this trauma came from. I just want to let you know, it probably came from your childhood.
Oh, I knew my parents did it. I knew it.
Dr. Green.
So I want to examine this for a minute. Were there a lot of tabs open on your parents' computers? A lot of desktop icons on your parents.
My parents didn't own computers. My parents owned legal pads.
Were there a lot of drawings of iconic figures on there?
No. A lot of Bible verses.
Oh, I feel like a jerk.
A lot of Bible verses and candles.
A lot of Bible verses. Just kidding, Mom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Just kidding,
Mom.
Mama. Just kidding, Mama. Please continue to pray for your daughter. One day I'll get it right.
Especially after this.
Sorry,
So
Mama.
now that Dr. Green said that, it made me think about a nickname that he may or may not relate to sometimes. Gaslight Gatsby.
You're number one. You're number one, Jake.
I am number one, and you are my number two.
Who does number two work for?
Number one.
What? Didn't we define this in a previous episode? Because Llama and I were like, what gaslighting is like.
We did.
Oh, yeah.
Then we defined it. What
Yeah,
is it?
it's-
When they try to make you believe something that isn't real?
Well, they're charming, but very manipulative. Like,
Narcissistic. etc.
honestly, if you're think about someone that may work in HR, where when an employee brings an issue to them, they turn around the employee and that they try to make the employee think, well, it was your fault. You instigated it. You were part of the problem. That like you're manipulating them into thinking that it's all in their head or they were the cause of it. A lot of times you see that from, psychotic exes or toxic bosses. They love to gaslight because it basically gives you like, what's the word I'm looking for? It gives you like Stockholm syndrome where like, you're in an abusive relationship, but yet you stay and you love them.
I do not love my
Gaslight,
ex-bosses.
gasping.
Well, no, that's when you identify them as gaslighters and you know what's happening.
So I'm just waiting to set them on fire. Gotcha.
But-
I brought up Bible verses and I remembered another character.
Oh,
Judas.
She was,
Oh,
They
There you
will
go.
throw anyone under the bus.
it is self-preservation. It is not
Yeah.
show friends. It is show business.
The kiss
That's
of
pretty good.
Judas.
and you know what is terrible is more often than I would like to admit, I see the Judas personalities get promoted.
oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's just because sometimes leadership is making decisions based on like numbers and not paying attention to morale or what's in front of their face. So then that Judas gets up there, and when Judas gets promoted, Becky gets wild.
Becky's got trauma.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a Judas, but I am very much about self-preservation. So HR
Nothing
folks,
wrong with that.
I am being 100% honest when I tell you that in HR, like, okay, so I'm glad we're talking about this because we have the ability and the power as an HR professional to either address it or let it slide. Sometimes you can say it's a judgment call. Sometimes you can say it's, not that big of a deal in terms of like it's not a policy violation. But the minute you don't take an action, you're in trouble, right? So I was always under the sort of guidance to, if it's said to me, I'm reporting that shit. I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna document it. I'm gonna go through the proper channels because I am not putting my career on the line for something stupid, right? Because again, you just never know. It can be a nothing issue, right? But somebody's in your office, somebody brings it to you. I'm not being a Judas. I'm just like, hey, I'm just gonna write this down and give it to somebody because I'm not gonna be the one that holds on to this secret just so that
Yeah, they're trying to
You can-
implicate
Yeah.
myself.
That's
Yeah,
not
right.
Judas. Judas
No.
is the one that's a manipulator. And
okay. I
And
kind
they,
of maybe misread that.
yeah, no, I mean, a Judas is many things. The term that I use, gaslight Gatsby, that's just one of many personalities of a Judas, because they're basically pure evil. But for you, no, because I mean, it's kind of like we all work in HR, and I'm sure we've all had numerous people walk in our offices and go, "Can I tell you something in confidence?" And I'm like, I look at people and go, "I'm not Catholic. I don't take confessions here."
God.
Like, you tell me something, I will do my best to keep it confidential, but then I may, depending on what you say, there may need to be an investigation. I may have a fiduciary obligation to report it or look into it. So, no, you can't tell me in confidence. Now, of course, I'm not going to run and go tell the whole facility, but I may
Right.
have to do my due diligence depending on what you share. So I'm like, no, that's not a Judas. That's doing your due diligence. That's doing your job. A Judas would be the one that's like, you do it for some, but not everyone. And then you turn
Right.
around and then you only report part of the story, not the whole story. And then you manipulate it. And then you make the person who reported it feel like they were the reason why it caused. And
Well,
No.
the Judas can also be associated with treason, right? Like in biblical terms, that's what Judas is. He was a traitor, right? He
Mhm.
sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. So I think like when you think of your Judases, though, but you're right, it can be a trait. Like it's specifically a trait in somebody that's like a narcissist, right? That we've all probably worked for someone or with someone that's got those lovely traits. But a Judas is someone that's going to sell you out. And there's nothing worse than having a Judas as a leader, because you're not
Yeah.
safe, right? We talk so much about like psychological safety, and we talk about like just feeling like you have that sunscreen of a boss that they're going to protect you from the heat, right? But when you've got a Judas for a boss, every man for themselves, homie. Like,
Yeah.
you're going to sell me for 30 pieces of silver, then I'm going to do everything to protect myself. So yes, self-preservation, but also Judas is just associated with treason or traitor, which, when you look at the toxic mentality that some leaders have of, if you are a traitor, you've no loyalty to me, you don't serve me. That's when you start getting in trouble as a leader.
Or when you have the HR representative that you replaced, or a company that you've joined that had a Judas in HR. That makes fun. It's like no one trusts HR now, because every time they went to HR goes back and just tells the manager everything that was said.
But that kind of goes back. That also goes back to Llama's point, like, or no, Jake's point. To some degree, yes, we can keep the conversation confidential. That doesn't mean that I'm not going to act on it. Like if you come and report harassment to me, I have to act on that, and it's not me being a Judas. It's like a legal obligation to act on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
There's a difference between investigating it versus going to the manager saying, guess what Becky said about you today.
True.
So I got a question.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Big Llama.
I was just gonna say, what was not on my bingo card for tonight, or for this podcast this week, was tying in our discussion to Good Friday and Easter. It was not on my bingo card, and we did it. So Good Friday, if you're listening.
Bravo, everybody. Bravo.
Good job.
And you know what? You
Anyway,
even talked about the 30 pieces of silver. Great
exactly.
job.
We were getting biblical, and I'm like, hey, it's Good Friday this week and this Easter weekend. This is crazy. It's not on my bingo card, but I'm here for it. This is fun. Go ahead, Dr. Green.
So we can kind of continue that trend in a way, segueing to this, the thief. The thief in the workplace. And I don't mean just the good old stealing from the locker, stealing from the break room. And most of us have been in an organization, actually all of us have been in an organization where they had a snack market.
Self-serve.
Self-serve. And they truly self-serve themselves. But what I'm talking about is the idea thief. They take an idea that Mama Mel gave and boom, made it their own and went and told the boss. I thought about this. And so then, boom, that thief is promoted. How do y'all feel about the idea thief?
Hey, first of all, I only did that once to Mama Mel. So
I've never done it to you, Mama Mel.
I'm a big believer that credit should be given where credit is due. And so I think the three of you know this about me. Like I will not, if it was not my idea, I'm always like, hey, kudos to this person, like credit goes to this person. They just kind of helped me put it together. You guys know that I'm not the best at putting like decks and PowerPoint presentations together. And like llama wasn't always my go-to. Like I'd be like, hey, I need some aesthetic looking things here. Help me out, please.
I remember that conversation.
And you, but I'm so grateful that you would help me. But I'm not gonna say, and to this day, Llama, I credit you for Adobe. Like anytime that I share Adobe with someone, I'm like, let me tell you about the person that shared Adobe with me. He's great. Gave me this beautiful tool, and I want to share it with you. Like I just credit should go where credit is due, and like I want everybody that's on my team to shine when it merits it. So no, I'm not going to be jacking your ideas.
Yeah,
You raised them. Good.
The idea thief gets free throat punches because for me, it's like I'm the same way. If I heard someone say it, I'll say, oh, I heard so and so bring up this great idea. I think we should try to implement it, right? But you're just a nasty, you're a dick when you do something like that. I'm sorry, it brings out the worst because it's like you're not being genuine, right? And it's if it is truly Dr. Green's idea, like give him the credit, right? Like what are you doing? Like we work together, he's gonna know, and you're just burning bridges along the way. So yeah, I hate the idea thief. Or right, or the idea thief can come in many different ways, but I hate when they don't include you. Like, look, if you're gonna steal, just let me know, right? But like they have a secret meeting or they have a side meeting, and all of a sudden the presentation that you provided is now up on the screen, and they're like, Becky, look what Becky did. This is amazing work by Becky. I'm like, man, I shouldn't have gave that bitch nothing. Like look at this what she did to me. But no, honestly, like that's wrong. That's wrong. Like if you do that often in terms of like give credit where credit is due, people will respect you and they'll understand and they know that you're an advocate for them. But when it catches up with you. When you're an idea thief, it'll catch up because when you have burnt every bridge and no one's going to help you, it's your own thoughts and ideas. You're going to find out that they suck. So
I felt like you were hurt.
I have been hurt a couple times, but
he's got trauma. Remember we talked about childhood trauma.
He got them PTSDs.
He got PTSD from the workplace trauma.
Yes, I do.
Hey, in the words of 16 and Pregnant, he's got the PTSDs, the post-traumatic Down syndrome.
That's PTTS.
No, have you not seen the guys on 16 and Pregnant? And he's like, he's talking about his girlfriend was kidnapped and she has PTSD, and he says post-traumatic Down syndrome.
Oh my God!
Thank you for explaining that, because I was like,
yes,
God, what a jerk!
Right? We went left field. We went. Whoa!
Hello, God.
Y'all need to watch some more reality TV.
Some of us have to work, in HR.
Pregnant, 1,000-pound sisters.
Not all of us can sleep on the floor or lay down on the floor.
I don't watch.
Can you imagine if HR had a reality show?
Oh, it would be great.
Actually, like the cops version where they follow cops around all day. They're just following HR around all day. You gotta sign this waiver. We can't publish this case.
Do the Office HR edition.
Yeah, hey, we could,
and we could have a cringy boss that's in their office and doesn't see anybody, just gets on the Teams, even though they're 5 feet from them. All those types of things, and puts passive aggressive things out there in the world, and like the passive aggressive poet. That's what we'll call it.
Passive aggressive poet. There's nothing worse than having a Dory on your team. And I don't even need to explain that one because you guys all know exactly what that means.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Dory. Those are your folks at the team's meetings. Is this being recorded? Is this going to be shared? After the presenter just said, I'm recording and going to share this.
And then they go into detail. Who's gonna send it to me?
Damn it, Becky, just wait.
Ma'am, it automatically gets sent to everybody on the call.
Check the chat. It's there.
Just like the last 22 recorded conversations we've had on calls have been sent to you. This one's the same.
Well, my favorite with that kind of story is that you provide them everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for example, you provide all of these slides and you're like, you're setting them up for success. Do they use any of them? No. And you're like, why did I waste my time on getting you this thing and you don't even use it? Oh, I forgot. What do you mean you forgot? We've been sitting here for 30 minutes talking about this specific PowerPoint.
Listen,
And it's due today.
along with that is Scripted Sally. You know who Scripted Sally is?
Nope.
She reads the PowerPoint slides word for freaking word.
Oh,
Doesn't know what is on that slide and doesn't understand the material, just reads the slide.
you know what makes it worse,
Sally.
Big Loma? Is when Sally does the same thing with write-ups or terminations.
Yes. Yes.
They go in the room. We are here today to discuss the termination of Becky, and Becky did not complete. I'm like,
It's like you don't even know why you're there.
Don't get red eyes, get clear eyes.
it's just like, did you not plan? Like, you knew this was coming. You had the documents 24 hours before it was due to issue. What? Oh my geez! Like, and then you can't really say nothing in the middle of the meeting, whether it's a PowerPoint or term or write up.
You can't. You gotta let it ride.
All you can do is just sit there and just try your best to be the best poker player that day, and just not make any facial expressions on what you truly feel and think about that person that day.
So can I tell you why I'm so passionate about this? Is okay. I specific scenario. Won't name any names. I presented something that I created, and I said, "This is a great presentation." I did it my way. My style is those bullet points on the screen are just reminders for me to have conversational pieces to explain the material because I understand the material. And I was told that's really great. Show others how to do it, and then let them present it. And I sat in on Scripted Sally's presentation, and she had no idea what she was reading. She like fumbled words that were on the screen. Like that's embarrassing. Like when you're like, and so we are on a boarding. It's onboarding, bitch. That's what the word says, onboarding. No, boarding. Like you clearly don't know what's on the screen. So like I had to sit there and watch this train wreck for 30 minutes. Actually, the training should have taken 35 to 40 minutes. It took 10 minutes because they were just reading slides. So they just read slide next, read slide next, read slide next. And it was like, all right, I hope everyone enjoyed the training. Anyway, I take it.
No training in that.
There's no training. Scripted value.
I was saying, and then everyone walks out of there. I just survived another meeting that could have been an email.
Exactly. Mel, you're making faces. I mean, you know that this happens everywhere. It's crazy.
It does, but I was going to ask you guys, like when you prep, so when I prep a deck that I'm going to share with colleagues or director, supervisor, whoever, right? I like to leave detailed notes in the notes section, right? I give you definitions. I prep you to the best of my ability with what you're going to need, because that's how I like to receive things. Like, give me what I want. Especially if it's something that I didn't put together, like give me Yes, give me bullet points on that slide, but in the notes section, tell me what I should be referencing because I don't know where your mind is when you're putting this deck together. When I'm doing it, I know what I'm trying to present and I know the point that I want to get across. So I want to build that for you and I want to make your life easier so that you don't have to read slides. Also, I think trainings that go over 30 minutes are like a little much. Like I'm going to have your attention for like a good 20 minutes and then I'm going to lose you.
You're
So I
done.
keep that in mind too. But with the scripted Sally, I have been known to read a couple of things, but don't you prepare before? Like I was going to ask you guys, like when you know you're going to present something, I like have a mock presentation, and my poor Jay, he always has to sit through them. And I just
He knows
listen
so
to
much
this.
about HR.
He does. That's why he wants to come on the pod so bad. He speaks certain lingo, but I have I mock present first. If I'm doing anything, like if I'm doing a business review, if I'm doing a training, whatever I'm doing where I'm going to speak in front of people, I'm going to rehearse it first. Is that not normal?
It is not for me, and I'll tell you why. I don't know what it is, and I do because I think fast and I think on my feet. But when it comes to like PowerPoint presentations, I can tell you multiple times I have not seen the deck. And I would go to the first deck and I'm like, okay, I already know what's going to come up next, or I already know what common sense. Now, there's been a couple of times where I've slipped up because it wasn't common sense PowerPoint. But if I talk about, rivers, lakes, and oceans, if I'm talking about the river, the next thing should be undoubtedly a lake. Next one after that should be an ocean. That's common sense PowerPoint.
Mhm.
Those, I don't, it's something that should come natural to you, especially if you know your stuff, especially about HR. So you should know like what EEOC is and,
like a PWFA presentation.
correct. You should know these things. So I don't need to look at it because I know what it is.
Yeah.
That's how I am because
Yeah.
I already have that knowledge, but I'm also very good at thinking on my feet. So not everybody is like that.
Well, and I think a big call out is if you are tagged in to do a presentation in an area that is not your subject matter expertise, when you start that call, don't be afraid to let people know, hey, team, I'm
Right.
going to be presenting today. This is
Oh,
not my
crap.
forte. So if I mispronounce something or if I forget to touch on a topic, I apologize. And of course, I'm going to cover everything in the presentation today. But if there's any information left out, we'll make sure we get that to you on the back end. Call yourself out before you look like a jackass. And they're like, did he write this presentation? Does he not know how to present it?
Yeah.
Like, let them know you didn't write it. This is not
Right.
my knowledge. Okay. I'm not Stephen Hawking, but I'm going to try to read like him.
No, but I think that gives you a little bit of wiggle room to mess up a little bit because you could be upfront and say, hey, I'm filling in for Mama Mel right now, and she's really our subject matter expert in this topic, but I will do my best and my apologies, right? And I think that they will give you grace, that will give you some room. And yes, if you read a little bit, that's fine, but please don't read the whole thing and try to do some prep work and just look at it and go, okay, I think I understand the material pretty well. If
Well,
not,
that actually happened to you and I don't know if you remember, but the Bee Gees burned my computer down.
oh, that's right. That's right. I was an observer. I was just observing.
We were presenting this new, the initiative that we were launching in this company, and Lama and I actually worked together on it, so we knew the talking points, we knew what we were saying, but he was just an observer sitting in on my training, and midway through somebody asking about like a pip or something, my computer died, like just blank, and I was like, oh my god, and I like grabbed my phone and I'm like, my computer died, I'll be right on. And thankfully he was on and he picked it right back up where we left off. But that was like, that was just lucky for me that he was there to pick up. But Just when you said that story, I thought about the Bee Gees burning down my paper. I was playing Tragedy by the Bee Gees, and
Yeah, he was playing. She was playing a song, like a starter, like like the icebreaker, and it
I
melted
love
her
doing that.
computer.
Love doing that.
In this case, this is a perfect piece to say this. You were the meeting magician.
Oh my God, yes.
You vanish during key moments in the meeting. That was the key moment, and boom, you were gone.
I was the Houdini.
You pulled it. Yes.
Now,
I came back and Lana was like, "Oh, this, and I was like, it's as if nothing happened. It's as if we were co-presenting, and he just
exactly.
went in there like a ninja and was like, "Yeah, so let me take you through that," and I was like, "Oh my God."
Again, I did what I could to save Mel
Thank
from
you.
that embarrassment. But
Yeah.
but let me do this. I want to be the timekeeper, and let's keep
Timekeeper,
us within.
gatekeeper.
Right. I want to keep us within our limits. So we're going to wrap up a little bit here and have everyone just do their parting shots and things that they want to give to you as professional advice. But again, if you guys who are listening and you have other types of folks in your office, let us know. Send us an email or put some comments on the YouTube video or on Spotify. We accept comments. It would be fun to see what types of people you have at your office and what you call them, so that maybe on the next one we can talk about some of these comments and things. But let's go around the horn here, and we'll start with Mama Mel. Since you told that lovely story how I saved you, I'm going to write back to you. What parting shot would you have for any of these people we talked about today?
It independently of what coworker you are, right? If you are the policy Houdini, if you are the micromanagement messiah, just don't be the stinky one. I said it in our pilot episode, and I'm gonna repeat it. Just don't be the stinky coworker. Be hygienic. Show up to work looking presentable. If your dog peed in a pile of clothes and you don't know whether it's clean or not, don't wear it. Don't wear it. Don't come stink. And also, don't heat up fish in the microwave. It's disgusting.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
Second that.
We'll go to Jake. What's your parting shot, sir?
Know what your nickname is.
Good.
It's
good
not.
point.
It's no one at work keeps secrets. It's not hard to find out what you're known for, what your nickname is, or what your reputation is. So don't be oblivious. I get it if it's like day one, week one, maybe even month one of you being at a company. But after a good 90 days at an organization, you start building a reputation. And by your 6-month anniversary, you have a nickname. You may not know what it is, but everybody at work has a nickname. Find out what yours is. Is it something to embrace or is it something to change? That's for you to determine.
Awesome.
Not
That's actually really, really good. I'm gonna have to
It's
figure out.
not scripted.
Right. And your name does change depending on your work location. So as you go to new places, your new name. So don't think they picked up on it. All right, Dr. Green, what's your parting shot?
Oh, I think about a few things, but in this case, I'll go back to the one that we talked about pretty much at the beginning, which is complaining. Look, not everybody loves their job. Some people do the 9 to 5, they clock out, they go home. That's what they want to do. I give kudos to those. I am a people pleaser. A lot of us are. And we want to show our best, do our best, and be the best. So if you're not in HR and you don't have this relationship with other HR people like we do, try to look at life as the glass is half full, not half empty. Because if you go into work every day, day after day, you're creating your own workplace trauma by not trying to look at the good things and looking at, I'm getting a paycheck. That's fantastic. But you know what? Unhinged Big Llama over there is just making everybody laugh. And it's been a great place to work. And so, but find something from that. Don't be the complainer. Nobody likes the person who's always complaining. Complain about the right things. Like, hey, we need more workplace involvement. We need some engagement here. So that's the advice I would give. Stop complaining. Find the good. Find the positive.
That's really good. That's good. That's snaps. Yeah, snaps for everybody. Now, I will say this. Like, I always say that it takes all kinds of employees to make a workplace run and make it fun and make it exciting. And if you can own some of your nickname, right? Like, I absolutely like. Okay, we talked about Captain Side Hustle. I love Captain Side Hustle because there's benefit there. I don't like the Girl Scout Mafia, but again, Captain Side Hustle might have some good things, right? The Wi-Fi Whisperer. All these people may bring some good things. So just look for the positive things. I think we've talked about that. Look for the positive things at your workplace. If that person is really good at that, give them some kudos, give them some praise. I think that's one thing we don't do is we're quick to make fun of it, right? Or to give them a label or a name. But then you remember, like, you should thank them for some of these things. Like, again, if they are an IT guru, they're not an IT, but they're an IT guru, like, thank them for their help and make them feel good about it, because sometimes they're looking for a boost themselves. So I just say, as always, just be good to people, treat them well. But yeah, give them a little bit of praise. And please, if your desktop looks the way it, with full of icons, get rid of them. Get rid of them now.
And the tabs.
Close all your tabs. Unless you're at the bar with me.
I was gonna say it, and you beat me to it.
Tab open, yes, please. All right, so I think that's it for us tonight. But we have to be adjourned by our official meeting adjourner, Jake from HR.
Well, you know what, Jake from HR. Usually, it's best if you knew how to turn your workplace microphone.
I know. I just saw that. When I started to talk, my mic was like muted.
You were every person in that meeting that we all go, "Hey, turn your mic on."
Yeah. Hey, you might be muted.
Hey, you're
You
muted.
give me one more millisecond. I would have caught myself. I'm self-sufficient. Okay, bringing our business day to a close. I share this with much love until we call you all into the office again. Have a great
night. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Well, that's another episode of the Four Friends Trying to Figure Out HR. We didn't solve anything, but hey, at least we tried.
And by tried, we mean we laughed, we overshared, and we probably violated some HR guidelines ourselves.
But remember, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Don't take our advice. Seriously, don't.
And if your HR manager asks, you've never heard of us or this podcast.